It's Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
It's Clobberin time!
That it is. That it is Clobberin time. More appropriately, it is.
It's Clobberin time! Clobberonimo! I just love Clobberin time! It's Clobberin time!
All of that and so much more. What is up, my buddies? Who is here for some wild card Wednesday on this auspicious day, night, day, whatever it is. Oh, my goodness. All right, my friends. Welcome to Clobberin Times, issue number 541 on YouTube. 1,241 overall on a fine wild card Wednesday night on a couple of big birthdays in my life. The biggest being, of course, my only son, Kal-El. No, I'm just kidding. His name's not Kal-El. I didn't name him that, but I would have. Actually, I wanted to name him Benjamin J. Grimm, but, I got overruled on that one, too. My own son, born this day, 1989. And, of course, born 58 years previous to that, with the greatest starship captain of them all. Mr. Shatner. Mr. Shatner, indeed. The one and only James Tiberius Kirk. The only Kirk that you'll ever need. The only one who will ever be Kirk. And yes, it's a weird thing. 34 years ago today, when my son was born, William Shatner was the same age that day that I was that day, that I am now. Excuse me, not that day, obviously, because I'd be 94, wouldn't I? 92, sorry, 92 years old today. The great William Shatner, but it was the year of Star Trek V. His directorial debut with Star Trek. And we'll talk a little bit about the Shat tonight. Why not? Before that, though, let's say some shout-outs. The show notes first and the shout-outs. Of course, as you all know, there won't be, by the way, I'll be tomorrow night, of course, the clubhouse as usual, the clubhouse with Raquel and Mark. Looking forward to that. Clubhouse, as always, is a great time. There'll be no. I'll also be on Midnight Edge After Dark before that, of course. But there'll be no comic book show on Nick's channel Friday night. But on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do believe. Yes, at 1 p.m. Central on Saturday afternoon. I and, of course, a couple other friends like Loki and 24/7 will be joining the great Paulie Latino Slant on the lead Latino Slant channel for some comic talk. And that looks like it's going to be a good time. Salty Traveling Sea, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to see you. I'll shout everybody else out when I get going there, but I saw you popped in and I haven't seen you here in a while, and it's good to see you, buddy. And so other show notes is, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. All of my shows are always 9 p.m. Central, on my night shows anyway. We are winding up Season 5 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine in our ongoing mission to review all of real Star Trek, 1966 through 2005, the 735 Club, except no substitutes. Only 2 episodes to review this week, and then we will wrap up the season with our big old season wrap party. We'll pick our best episodes, our worst episodes, and have a little fun with the crew. And, of course, Sundays, you should all try to join us if you can on the great Mark D with the C's channel for Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. And this week, on Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, Loki, our good buddy Loki, is going to join me for another DC animation review. This time, the animated film Justice League: A Crisis on Two Earths. And then 1 week from, of course, I have the other shows that week, but 1 week from that Monday night on Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, I will be counting down my top 25 episodes of the great Justice League / Justice League Unlimited animated series from the Bruce Timm universe. So I'm looking forward to that. Always a good time. Let's see here. All right. And let's see here's with us. Let's do some shout outs tonight, folks. The great, whether they're here or not, we shout out our wrenchers, then we shout out everybody who's here. So the great Eric K, the bronze wrencher. Oh, hope you're here, man. Hope you're doing well. And hope you get off those generators, man. Good luck getting the power back, buddy. And shout out to your little puppy, Kirby. Little cutie. Chris Persia, the Vindicator Wrench of the North. Always great to have you, buddy. Thank you for everything you do. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. The great LT, Lord Thoth, and of course his wonderful better half, Lady Thoth. Avon lives, and long live the Legion, sir, and I hope the new puppy is doing well. I believe he's here. I think you're out there, buddy. The Earth B man himself, my partner in crime on Earth B, J-Man. The Wrench Without Fear. Great to see you, buddy. Had a great time on your channel last night. It was a lot of fun hanging with you and Sean. I wish I would have been able to stay longer, buddy. Thank you so much for having me. It was great, man. I just really enjoyed myself. Hungry Boy, master of the club, Booney. And, of course, comics artist extraordinaire and cover artist for the wonderful tome Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs. Cal L. Buddy the Super Wrench, of course. And wielder of Reach Mjolnir, Buddy's Daddy, and, of course, the Fanty Outsidey. And let's see. Let me see who is here with us in the chat already. I ran that thing back a little bit so I can see Stuart Mitchell. What's up, you old space dog? Good to see you. J.T. Kirk. Good to see you there, buddy. Glad you're here. Dave G. Sound. Hey there. Always good to see you, Dave C. Sound. The great Pat S. Hey, man. Hope to see you soon, buddy. I understand you're looking there, J-Man. Just thanks again, buddy. Really appreciate it last night. Matthew Pounder. Hey, Matthew. Good to see you, buddy. Kay Burns. Hello there, Kay Burns. It's nice to meet you. I don't know. I mean, you may have popped in here before, of course. Not saying that. I'm just saying, but anyway, it's great. Forgot to do something. Reminding myself. I was making a reminder of myself, so I don't forget to do something. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Who else is here? Yeah, JT Kirk, I hear you, man. Again, Salty Traveling Sea. Good to see you there, buddy. Who else up? Who else is up in Hill that I haven't called out yet? Checking it all, man. Checking it all. Yeah, there we go. Looks like I got everyone so far. I will, of course, shout you out accordingly. I'm going to talk a little Shatner in a little bit, I guess, because he's the Shatner, and it's his birthday, 92 years old, and he's the greatest captain there is. Of course, I think, but I do want to cover something because these things, I feel like not enough people cover these things when they happen because no one really cares anymore, but I do. I love, and I didn't get a chance to prepare anything, but we'll just show some pictures. You know, I love comic book history, and I love Golden Age comics and Silver Age comics and Bronze Age comics. And we've almost everyone from hello. Oh, first was the Retro Blasting stream. Well, K Burns, thank you. Thank you so much. But we're losing everyone from the Golden Age and then the Silver Age, our top-notch Silver Age artists. There's going to be soon where none of them left. And we lost a big one. I think a big one. I mean, again, nobody will even know him. This won't be a household name as far as comic books artists are concerned. But whenever one passes, no matter how obscure they may be to others, someone needs to around here needs to note it. I feel an obligation to do that. Comics lost a legend. The great Joe Giella, the oldest Batman artist. And he worked with guys around in that era with Dick Sprang and Jack Burnley, and he did so much. Joe Giella was a phenomenal artist, and he did so much. Of course, he was a great inker later. Joe Giella is underappreciated by so many. I had not heard anything about him in so long. This always sounds bad, right? It always sounds bad, but my assumption was, because I never really read about anything about him anymore, was that perhaps he was no longer with us. So I hate this, but you know how when you hear about someone who's an older celebrity you haven't heard from in a long time, and then when you hear they passed, you don't mean you're not saying it to be funny, but you go, I thought they were already, I hate that. But I just not heard anything about Joe Giella in a long time. And there were so many. I mean, he was just a very prolific inker. He's so many times. I'll put it to you like this: but before he was an inker, he did a lot of pencil work. Zathras, good to see you, my friend. Zathras, you are incorrect. I hate to correct you. Sheridan is not the best. Kirk is far better. I like Sheridan, but Kirk's the gold standard. You are wrong, sir. You're going to have to take a seat in the back now. Sorry. In fact, you couldn't be more wrong if you were a tenured professor. In fact, the dean of Wrongonomics at Wrongo University. Kirk's the gold standard. Even Bruce Boxleiter will tell you that. Sheridan's great. But I remember how many times did I see Sheridan do something really cool, and my friends would go, "Wow, that was so Kirk of him." We go, "Man, that was a very Kirk thing Sheridan just did." So, sorry, buddy. Kirk's the man. There's no one even close. Anyone who picks any other captain over Kirk, Zathras doesn't sit. Now, I'm afraid around here, Zathras, I'm the captain. And so I could put anybody in the back that I want. But I love you, man. But nah, sorry, it's Kirk. But anyway, let's get back to Joe here. Joe was a prolific talent, an extraordinary artist. Like I said, one of the greats. See if we can find some. Donnie Pearson, hey there. Well, I'm not saying Captain Crunch was not great now. But Kirk is the man. One of my favorite comics blogs is the 13th Dimension. Let's look at some of Joe Giela's greatest covers, shall we? Where are we at? Hey, Zathras, dude, you know, man, you can say anything you want around here. And B5 is better than D69, so you're okay with that. So anyway. All right, here we go here. So let's see. Let's take a look at some Joe Giela greatness. Yeah, Hungry Boy. The guy says a lot of wacky stuff I don't agree with in terms of certain types of subjects, but I love this blog. We got a lot of great stuff on this blog. This has always been one of my favorite Batman covers right here. Zathras takes agonizers like a man, or whatever species I am. Oops, let me go down one. That'll work. So, I mean, he was a Batman artist. He did a lot of other stuff, of course. But he's best known for his Batman work. And he's also known for being one of Bob Kane's many ghost artists. You know, Bob Kane used to pay people to do his art after Bob Kane got too lazy to do anything when he became a celebrity. When Bob Kane needed an actual talented artist to draw a lithograph or some other poster or something, you know, Batman, he usually went to Joe Giela. Indeed, Matthew. You know, Joe, like a lot of those guys back then, needed the money, I guess. Kane, lazy, blasphemy, Clobberin, goes he done. Yeah. Bob Kane was God. He was like another guy that, it's funny. He's just the guy that didn't get away with it, where the other guy with the initials SL did. Great cover. Do some great covers here. Yes. Yeah, buddy. Bob Kane was a piece of work, wasn't he? Another one of my favorite covers right here. Man, see, I can't. Just amazing. This was Giella inking Infantino. Bob Kane, that's okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bob. Come on now. I know you're kidding. I know you got to be kidding, HB. You know I would never slander the great name of Gil Kane. And I only regret that he and Bob Kane have the same last name, for God's sake. Unfortunate indeed. I know you're kidding. I hope you're kidding. I hope you're kidding. Good evening, world. This is William B. Williams. My guests are Batman and Robin, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. They are going to reveal something tonight that will electrify you. Get ready for a shock. A puzzle in double identities. Batman unmasks Batman. Infantino and Giella. God, I love these covers. 94 years old was Giella. This is also one of my favorite covers. I've got you behind bars at last, Joker. That's what you think, Batman. Watch 1, 2, 3. Now you're inside the cell and I'm on the outside. The Joker's last laugh. Sounds like the Laurie Starch Joker from the Filmation cartoon. Oh dear, oh dear. Yep. So whenever this happens, I mean, someone's going to remember him. Very few will, but he's still. I don't care if it's 2023. Remember the Golden Age greats when they pass, because I can't. I'm not sure, and maybe you know, Hungry Boy. I don't know. If there are any other Golden Age people left. I'm not sure. I mean, technically, I think Ramita's still with us. He did do some Golden Age work, but he became to prominence in the Silver Age, though. Really, it's what he really didn't. Hell, there aren't too many Silver Age people left either, really. Ditto Globby and Giella tightened up Infantino's pencils and made Gil's pencils more organic. Yes. There was also a master of rendering hair. Gotcha. Yeah. But there just aren't many left, man. And we're gonna celebrate them and we're gonna honor them when we lose them, because there's not much else we can do, but we can at least honor their work. Another great cover right there. Oops. I mean, there's bound to be somebody that's probably a bit more obscure. As far as all the big name Golden Age people, yes, they're gone. Let's face it. We'll just talk about Silver Age ones in a second. How many of those are gone? It's quite a few. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. Well done, sir. I'm your Huckleberry. Let's see here. So, my Batmobiles come alive, pouncing me like a wild animal. Featuring Batman's most fantastic and formidable foe in The Outsider Strikes. Wasn't the Outsider Alfred? Well, damn. Damn shame. So he'll be missed by a few people, and just us old fools now who honor him, honor his name. Bob Kane's name gets to rings, just gets to ring in the ears of so many people. And only a few of us will recognize Joe. Obviously, he made a living on commissions, and I don't know what he's been really doing in the past few years, but yeah. Here's another one we could take a look at real quick, and then we'll get on. Let's see here. Paul Kupperberg, whom I believe is that acquainted with our good buddy Martin with the C, in remembrance today of the great Joe Giella. Hey, Jay Picasso. Hey there. Good to see you. Has this article. "13 favorite Joe Giella stories." So let's take a look at that. Oh, there's Joe with Paul. He also did, obviously, should be noted that Batman was nowhere near the only title he worked on. He worked on a lot of stuff. Justice League, of course, and Flash. And here's some of the stuff. Flash 123. Flash of Two Worlds. That's right, folks. Inking Infantino. When he wasn't inking Infantino, he was inking Gil Kane. Look at that stuff right there. Challenge of the Headless Baseball Team. Brave and the Bold, numbers. Yep. Green Lantern, number 25. Giella inks the great Gil Kane. Let's see here. Don't worry, folks. Once I get done with this, I just wanted to give some tribute to Joe Giella, then we'll get moving elsewhere, I promise. I know nobody really cares about this kind of stuff, but just these guys gave us so much, these artists. So we'll just pass through these quickly. Thunder Agents. This one, Joe inking Mike Sikowski. But he inked everybody, man. He even did some. Look at that ass, yeah. Dick Dillon inked by Giella on Justice League. Don Heck. Some more Don Heck. Wow. My goodness. Jack Sparling. All right, so this is Paul Kupperberg's favorite work by Joe Giella. This one inking out there. Some a Superboy story inked by Giella for on Kurt Schaffenberger. And there we have it. Just a little bit of a tribute there. A Clobberin Times. Hello, Claude Sally. Bit of a Clobberin Times tribute to the late great Joe Giella that passed away today. I believe it was today or yesterday. It was announced today anyway. At 94 years old, even a little bit older than the Shat. And yeah, Joe. Obviously, I never knew Joe, but I always appreciated his work. Great anchor, great artist. Did some fine work in a medium that so many of us love. So, everyone, from Clobberin Time, I say thank you, Joe Giella. Rest in peace, sir. Thanks for all the great art. There's Mark D with a C. What's up, dude? So now there's this gentleman who has a birthday today who was 92 years old. As I already mentioned, of course, same birthday as my son. William Shatner. Kirk, the gold standard, of course. His legend just grows because, isn't it? I mean, obviously, not everybody makes it into the 90s, in their 90s, and nowhere near as spry. But he's still doing events everywhere, doing cons and yelling con even. I mean, he's not only hey, Darcipio, what's up? Good to see you. Remember, Shatner's not only doing cons, he's yelling cons. So that's something. Darcipio says, hey, Dave, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Dave. No notice, my brother. I didn't say no alert because the amazing Lucas called me and for saying that. Well, I'm not sure the amazing Luke. I don't know if I know who the amazing Lucas is. I can sort of deduce what word you're putting there. Thank you for not writing it. But I'm not sure what you're talking about. Hey, Clobberin, no notice. My brother, I didn't say no alert because call me. Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure I followed that, but thank you for being here, Darth. Good to see you. Amazing Lucas. Oh, I think I know who that is. I know the name now. Yeah, I am familiar with that. I've heard of him now. Yeah, he's a bit of a. Never mind. Yeah, he's a bit of a. Leave it at that. Mark D, you have carte blanche, but always optional, as you know. J-Man. Oh, that's all right. I was just paying tribute to the late, great comic book artist that passed today, Joe Giella. J-Man, just got through doing that. No biggie. So, Shatner. It's his day after all. I got no notification. That happens to me sometimes. Darth, I got you. 92. Man is a national. Oh, he's an international treasure, an inspiration. And he's hanging in there because we lose these people whose work we enjoy, and even though we don't know them personally, and we take it pretty rough. And this is a guy that, hey man, it's inspirational to see him hanging in there this long. He has said some things recently, like I don't know how long won't be around much longer, all that kind of stuff. I got news for you. Old people always say, hell, I'm old, but not compared to my parents or him. And I say it. So, my parents say it all the time and piss me off when they say it. They're 85 and 83. Or 85 and 82, sorry. And I don't like hearing that from them either, but they say it all the time. Not going to be around much longer. people say that. As I said earlier at the outset of the show, this is the day my son was born 34 years ago. And 34 years ago, when Shatner had that birthday, it was just a few months out from him having his first Star Trek directed movie out, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Brian Hepburn, good to see you there, buddy. And I'm the same age today now as he was on that day that he made 58 years old, just 34 years ago, which means Shatner's 34 years older than my son. And it means if I made it, it'll be miraculous if I make another 34 years. But if I do, wow, that'd be something. But I don't think there's much chance of that happening. But who cares? The man's miraculous. So I guess that's what we talk about. Let's talk about. How about we talk about Star Trek V for a second? Because the movie gets beat up a lot, but there's some good things in Star Trek V. Shatner could only be Denny Crane. What are you, a troll or something tonight, Zathras? I know you like being a troll, but come on now. He is Kirk. He is the Kirk. He's the only James T. Kirk ever. Nobody else will ever be James T. Kirk. No Bloody Pine or that other wiener head of strangled worms or anyone else. So this guy, he plays a character so well for 3 years on an old TV show that it never leaves him, even though when he wants to go, he wants to go do other things. It maybe didn't really. I don't know if that hurt his career. I don't think it did. He had his ups and downs like everybody else. It's tough to. We've seen how many many actors go from one project to do just everything they touch turns to gold. Of course, none of them do. But this guy, after leaving the show, when he goes back 10 years later, in that 10-year period between the original series, wrapping and the motion picture, he was on he was in some B movies. Big Bad Mama, wasn't it? He was in he did a TV. He had guest shots on Mission Impossible and all kind of other stuff, Columbo, all these different things, and then he was on a regular on Anyone ever watch Barbary Coast with Doug McClure? I've watched that recently because that finally came out with that on DVD a few years ago. And it didn't last long, maybe like one season. And it was kind of an attempt to be sort of like Wild Wild West. And he was the Artemis Gordon type, wearing all the his wigs were bad back then, baby. And he was the disguise guy. Yes, he was a great killer in both those Columbos. Indeed, it's just Pop Culture Republic. Hey there, good to see you. Bit of dog's age. So Shatner was Barbary Coast again. He was kind of fun on that one, but it just wasn't the same. Was he typecast? I mean, yeah, I guess when you see him, you kind of want to see Kirk. K. Burns says, I love that Star Trek V has Kirk rock climbing. Yes, I like that scene. Look, Trek V, actually, I'm more brutal to Trek 6. I'm one of those weirdos that has a lot of problems with Trek 6, but I agree with a lot of the criticisms of Trek 5. I believe both of those movies needed a different story. I believe both of them did. I really do. One was just kind of a crazy idea. The other one was ripped right out of the headlines, and I don't think it was a good fit. Nevertheless, he gets in the 80s, man, he gets back to prominence. He gets to do Trek movies and T.J. Hooker. But Trek 5, man, it's kind of funny because after kind of the way he acted on that Saturday Night Live thing and pissed off a lot of fans, they let him direct a Trek movie. Then I liked it. It's Captain Infinity and Beyond. J-Man, I didn't say I don't like him. I have issues with him, put it like that, especially 6. But I still think 5. I mean, I would have, if I had my druthers, I would have picked different stories. Pop Culture Republic? No, I haven't. I think I watched a little bit of Tech War, but I never really read the books or anything. But I know what you're talking about. Trek 5 has a lot of good heart in it. I like people. It got dogged out for the campfire scene. I like the campfire scenes. There's a lot of good character stuff in it. It's just, Lawrence Luckenbill's a great character. It's just, it has its faults. I mean, again, you probably could have come up with a better idea than that. That's all I'm saying. I do love the scene with the heavy metal Klingon gets his orders to go after Kirk. And when he's told it's the Enterprise he's being sent after, Enterprise, that's Kirk's ship. He goes, because he's daydreaming about glory and stuff. And he goes, if I could defeat Kirk, he goes, and this Klingon muscle woman says to him, you would be the greatest warrior in the galaxy. Yeah, exactly, because he's Kirk. He is the Kirk unit. He is the Kirk, the creator. But 5 was, like I said, people make mistakes, and there was a running joke before. I'll never forget when I can't. I don't know exactly where I read it, but right before the movie came out, Trek 5. But I'll never forget when I heard about the plot of going to look for God. The basic premise of going out to look for God. It harkened back to an old joke. Simply Steve, what's up? An old joke that there was the old Tom Snyder program from the 70s which had Tom Snyder and had DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, Walter Koenig, and Harlan Ellison. That's a famous. If you haven't seen that, dig that up on YouTube. Where it was from the mid 70s when it was still in production for the motion picture, and they were talking about different things they wanted to do for a Star Trek movie. And DeForest Kelley says this, and remember, this is easily a good 15 or more years before Star Trek 5 was ever made. DeForest Kelley said, I was thinking maybe like they should go out and look for God and then find out that he's really Lucifer. Now, cracks like that have been made before, like the Enterprise just go look for God and find out he's the devil, that kind of stuff, right? Well, Shatner, it's almost like Shatner took it to heart or something. He wasn't even in that interview, but so what happens? That is the basic plot of Star Trek 5. They go out looking for God and they find the devil. Of course, we all know it's an alien, but you know what I mean. It's kind of a funny off joke, and he made a movie about it. Not a great move. You could have done something better than that, in my opinion. And I like Trek 5. I like it because I love these characters so much. You can put them in an inferior story, and I will criticize the story, but I'll still, love seeing them. So, Trek 6, my problem with that is it was snatched off the freaking headlines. It was all about the Gulf War and the Cold War, and the Cold War going, Gorbachev kept visiting the country at the time, and Gorkon's Gorbachev. And, They have lines in this movie that are taken from headlines, from different news stories. This is not an opinion; it's a fact because Leonard Nimoy has admitted as much. Nicholas Myers admitted as much. They had that famous walk on the beach where they talked about certain things going on in the world, and they decided to make a Star Trek movie around it. And it just never sat well with me for a lot of reasons. Raquel and I gave our very detailed reasons way back when we reviewed this for our Saturday Night Star Trek, when we reviewed Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. And things really, really make me insane about that movie. And you know what? I love the characters that I still love to watch it. Warts and all. That's a good one there, Captain Finity. I like it. Allegory ages like milk. It does. It does. I mean, and when you really just, when you date your politics in your movie, I mean, philosophy is one thing, politics is something else. They have lines in Trek 6. Let's see here. Only Nixon can go to China. That line made me want to hurl right there when Spock says that to Kirk. When, you know, there's a line in there's a line where the Starfleet Admiral says Klingons would become the alien trash of the galaxy. Wow, Starfleet. It sounds like he's talking like he's on the P. Hard show. People, you know, the Federation, an admiral wouldn't talk like that. A Federation, I mean, in front of his superiors, no less. Then, not just no. This crap about Praxis being blown up, and so the entire economy, and you know, basically it was a statement on, you know, overspending war budgets and all this other kind of dumb crap. The fact that the co-conspirators in the assassination plots in the film were by gun, you know, arms manufacturers. There are no arms manufacturers in the Federation. That's not how it works. But they twisted, you know, Star Trek norms just to make their dumb points. This bull crap about, you know, Gorkon being such the. There's a scene where McCoy actually says he was our best hope for peace. Well, that was taken off of a line of a woman when Gorbachev was scheduled to come to New York one time and he didn't make it. And they quoted this woman who became a famous quote. He was my best hope for peace. Like, oh my God, you're putting this in the movie? There was even a deleted scene where the president is talking to his Major West, who's played by Rene Aubergenois, Matt G. Hey. And he says something about a rescue mission. And he said, and then the president says, yes, and what if you start a war? Well, frankly, Mr. President, we could clean their chronometers. The famous, we could clean their clocks phrase from the Gulf War general. See, it's also transparent. I guess really aggravates me for Trek 6 doing that. But, and again, it was just political intrigue crap. It doesn't really, it's not Star Trek. The performances and seeing the characters and all that stuff's fine. But anyway, on Shatner, let's go back to Shatner. It's his birthday. This is a guy that took a character, and it wasn't even the first choice. I mean, his character wasn't even the first choice either. I disagree with you, Darth. Darth, he said Christopher Plummer was acting in Star Trek 6. Actually, you put 4, but I know you mean 6. Puts William Shatner. No, you mean Shatner. Acting the shame. Plummer shined. He shined. He was great, but Shatner did a great job too. I don't know why. What is it about people that like to dump on Shatner? Is it kind of people have just wanted? I don't know. Maybe it's because he's. I have different theories on it. People always like to dump all over Shatner as an actor. He's a great actor, I think. And they talk about how he speaks and something. They make fun of his gestures and his movements. I mean, they work perfectly for the character. And he plays these characters beautifully. I think he's a great actor. I always did. But people like to dump on Shatner for an actor because a few comedians like to make fun of him. A Plummer's terrific. I mean, he's a great actor, of course. But if Shatner's such a bad actor, I mean, no. Shatner's way better than Poopy Stew. Thank you, Captain Affinity. All right, J-Man, take it easy, buddy. Have a good one. But he takes this character. Look, I love Jeffrey Hunter. If The Cage had sold and they made a TV show, I'm sure we'd have loved it. But, Raquel would be angry with me because, I love, number one, I love Raquel. She loves The Cage, which I do too. And she loves, but I'm glad it turned out the way it did. I can't say I'm not because it's Kirk. And imagine if it had been Jack Lord or Robert Ryan or one of these other guys. We got so much lightning in a bottle with Kirk. And then for it to spill over into making the Trinity, the triumvirate with Nimoy and Kelly. As I've often said, my favorite character in Star Trek is the Trinity. Obviously, I love Kirk the most. I mean, maybe if I had to single out one, it's Kirk, but really I can't. They're one character. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are one character. The triumvirate of the Trinity, because they make up just a perfect. If you break off any piece, you're lesser for it. That's why almost all the better stories had all three of them in there. For some strange reason, I don't know exactly why. McCoy, is not in Errand of Mercy. He could have just been on shore leave or something. But for the most part, that the show clicks. It does not click without Kirk, Spock, McCoy dynamic. I mean, and you cannot. It's amazing. That's one thing that is perfect, and then you cannot take away. I mean, I don't know who you would remove. You can't change either one of those actors. It's that Trinity, and then nobody else will ever be Shatner's Kirk. Nobody can ever be Nimoy's Spock, and nobody can ever be DeForest Kelly's McCoy. And again, you can say the same about James Doohan being the greatest Scotty, but he's not still part of that triumvirate there. What trio in TV's ever been better than none? None. And Shatner, of course, he's there. He's just holding it together. He's the glue. That's a good one. No Blake and Ammon without Kirk and Spock. Yeah, that's true. Shatner added idiosyncrasies to Kirk, but so did DeForest Kelly and Christopher Lee and Martin Landau in the 60s. Yep. Idiosyncrasies. Yep. Idiosyncrasies, not bad acting. Thank you. JT Kirk says, I don't see George Takei wishing Bill a happy birthday. He had time for dozens of highly political fever dreams tweets, though. It's sad Takei can't get over himself after all this time. No, it's a shame. He's a sad, sick little man. Shatner would say P. Hard did a little too much LDS. Yeah. Happy birthday, Jim. Oh, man. Yes, so the beginning of Wrath of Khan kind of comes to mind, right? I think it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Message, Spock? None that I'm conscious of, other than, except, of course, happy birthday. Surely the best of times. Happy birthday, Jim. Thank you. No, I love that scene, the whole scene there. This is not about age, and you know it. It's about you flying a goddamn computer console with one of the other hopping galaxies. Yeah, well, that's his maybe, Darth Scipio. I've read some of Nimoy's stuff. Nimoy, look, they were friends, and they had their differences. And look, Everyone knows Shatner's been an a-hole on many occasions. That's one of the things that's endearing about him. He's still a cantankerous old bastard, but he's got older and he mellowed out. What can I tell you? He was a diva in season 3, like you said there, insufferable. And look, they worked through it. He and Nimoy worked through it and became friends. So yeah, remember he was in his 30s back then. It may not mean much to you now because I don't know how old you are, Darth, but I'm pushing 60. I look back to my 30s self when I was in my 30s, going, yes, I was even more of an a-hole back then than I am now, and I'm pretty much an a-hole right now. So, yeah, Shatner. Look, nobody here's defending Shatner. Let's say he was a saint. He's done all kind of crap that makes me go, really, dude? Wow. As everyone else has. I'm just saying when people make fun of him as an actor, I don't agree with that. If you want to say Shatner was an a-hole, of course. By the way, Leonard Nimoy was an a-hole. He wrote I Am Not Spock, and then 20 years later, when he wrote I Am Not Spock, but then he goes back and plays Spock. When he saw The Gravy Train, he didn't agree to do Phase 2, but then when he saw they were on a big budget movie, take me in. When he wants to kill Spock, and then when they let him direct a movie, if I could direct a movie, I'll come back and play him again because I want to break into directing. Nimoy was an a-hole in 2009 when he joined up when he chased the money yet again and sold out to the Jar Jar Abrams Les Moonves garbage fake Star Trek and Jar Jar Abrams garbage. And then he insulted fans too. Nimoy, if you weren't on board with that garbage remake movie, he called people, quote, dickheads who weren't on Saturday Night Live. Now we could take a joke. Who cares if he calls us names? But I'm saying, if you weren't down on it, he called, so Nimoy's an a-hole too. So what? It's like this is always funny how everyone is quick to jump on Shatner for being an a-hole, which he was a lot of times, but no one ever calls anybody else one. Nimoy's been a total, and by the way, I love Leonard Nimoy, but I was mad at him for years because he was involved in that trashy piece of garbage Abrams trap. So much so that when he finally sadly passed in 2015, whatever it was, 16, 15, I don't know what it was, 15 maybe, I was kind of mad. I felt bad about it because I held a grudge about him, which means you shouldn't hold grudges, basically. Apollome's Minion and the Pupper, good to see you, my dear. I hope you're doing well. So you know what? Remember something, folks. Hey, Jeff Morris. Good to see you, sir. We are definitely a-holes around here. They're assholes, sir. They're all assholes, sir. Spaceballs quote. So remember, folks, we're talking about people that we really don't know in real life. They're strangers. We love their work. I hear you, Captain Finity. Finity says Quinto was essentially a different spot canonically, so Nimoy showing up after the verisimilitude. Well, it was Jar Jar Abrams. There wasn't going to be any verisimilitude anyway. They didn't have any of that to f up. So, yeah, these are actors, folks. I mean, I love Shatner. That doesn't mean I think he's. Actually, I hear he's been nice lately, but he's done a lot. He's done all kind of crap that has pissed people off. But I love the guy's work. I mean, I love him as Kirk, and of course, I'm inspired by the way he conducts himself out there in public now. Actually, he's old. He got older and wiser. Still, he makes mistakes. You love Fringe. Fringe, was that got anything to do with Nimoy? Was Nimoy on? Yeah, Nimoy was on that or something. Well, I mean, hey, I love Star Trek, and Nimoy was on it, yet he pissed me off. So, look, that's the point. Is you can't watch anything if you think if the actors in it are a-holes, bothers you. It doesn't bother me. within reason, you know. But anyway, so he is the captain. Well, I don't even want to speculate on anything like that, Scipio, and that doesn't really. I don't know, man. That's the kind of comment we don't really need around here. Don't even put that kind of stuff in the chat. No, I won't even. Some of you may have seen it. That's just no. We don't go there with that kind of stuff. You're more than welcome to hang out, but that word you put in there is inferring certain things. That would no. So, anyway, what am I doing here? I keep getting what? Another one. Joe Giolitti. Yeah, I've seen that one. Sorry, some friend was contacting me with some Shatner's response after going to space made me rethink space profound grief, said Kay Burns. Well, there's the thing about that, Captain Infinity, is that Nimoy said he made that book, I Am Not Spock. Then he wrote a book called I Am Spock. But he could have called it what, that much money? Oh, hell yes, I'm Spock. You bet. JT Kirk said, I read the Con in Hell 4 comic book series with IDW today. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't think I read all of that one. What'd you think of that one, JT? Yeah. Nimoy pierced the veil separating real Trek from filth. Keep the Kelvinverse separate. Keep it all separate as far as I'm concerned. Keep it all out of there. If you want to count the Kelvin crapola as different from the STD stuff, fine. The real Trek timeline, Prime, whatever they want to call it, should have nothing to do with Kelvin and nothing to do with the STD crap. And if they had come out and just set that up like that, I don't know. It would have been better. Oh, my goodness. So does anyone have a favorite Kirk moment? I'll ask my friends who are Star Trek fans here. If you have there's so many, of course. It could be a Shatner moment if you got something else. If you're not a Kirk fan, but I'm just going to stick with Kirk moment because, obviously I know it's Shatner's birthday, but man, it's tough to think of one. But I'll pick one from my favorite episode. My favorite episode of Star Trek, of course, is Mirror, Mirror. This was there are a couple. I just love the whole episode, but I love it when Kirk wants a piece of the action. There you go. I like that episode. When Kirk, I think my second favorite scene is when Kirk, as soon as he walks onto the ISS Enterprise, and it takes about like 3 seconds for him to start adapting and being cool and not blowing his cover. But then there's the scene later when Chekhov and his men try to kill Kirk. And he ends up, getting help, getting out of it, and the young ensign or whatever comes over to him and, who's helped him save his life and all this stuff. basically, he said, "All right, you're working for me." He said, he says to Kirk, "A commission?" He says, "You're in line. You might even make captain." Yes, sir. And then Kirk belts him. Boom. This is because he's already adapted to the fact that what kind of man he is in that universe. Or at least he thinks so at this point. And just decks him, says, "Not on my ship." Yes. Let's see what you, listen, did you have one? Oh, Hunger Boy. Hunger Boy says, "One of my top 3 Kirk moments is when he discombobulated Nomad." Fantastic scene. Fantastic scene. Brian Epper says, Kirk's eulogy for Spock. Yes, that's a touching scene. Yeah, absolutely. Another one. Hey, the Woke Breaker. Good to see you. Another is dressing down of the hate ball. Of the hate ball. Yeah, David. No, Darth Scipio. Look, you're okay, buddy. So sometimes mentioning something like that, it's not so much being offended. You have to be careful about the things we say in the chats and on the streams and stuff. Maybe you didn't mean anything by it, but it did come off a certain way. But you're always welcome here. It's just stuff like that we got to be careful with. And I don't agree with what you said, but that's okay. It's fine to disagree on things anyway. But I don't think you could, when you mention something like that, it has a certain tone to it. You're saying a certain thing. Claude Perishables here, hey. But you're okay. And don't mention it. Just certain things like that, they're kind of probably not good to mention. That's all I'll say. So it's just the thing we're taking precautions, and it's because I'm not going to assign meaning to what you said, but the way it looked. Okay, there's also something. Nevertheless, I try never to visit anyone's intentions. Now, all right. What's another one? What's another Kirk moment that's just so cool? Too cool. Oh, man. Two of them right here. The Corbomite maneuver. Doesn't get much cooler than the Corbomite maneuver. What a brilliant strategy. What a great idea. So cool he used it twice. Captain Finnerty said, by the way, someone tried to deny that P. Hard is a replicant. It's totally canon, right? P. Hard is pining for the fields. That's canon. Yeah, pining for the fields. Yes, he's a damn replicant. What else? They call him synthetic, but that's the same thing. Yes, he's a replicant. And they even mentioned it in the shitty 3rd season. The plebeians don't enter into it. He's stone dead. He's not pining. He's passed on. He's run down the curtain and joined the bleeding choir invisible. This is a late P-Hard. He's bereft of life as he rests in peace. If you hadn't resurrected him from that data thing, he'd be pushing up the daisies. This is an ex-P-Hard. So, and in Deadly Years, when he uses the Corbomite maneuver again, Pleasant Valley Picker, yes, we're talking some Kirk and Shatner right now. We know. That's right, Brian. He's a skin job, damn it. Corbomite maneuver when he uses it again. In Deadly Years when he uses it again, it's just fantastic. Hey, Diesel, good to see you. Let's see here. My third top Kirk moment is when Shatner has the guts to show Kirk being Captain Ahab about the dichronium cloud creature due to guilt. Yes, Obsession's a great episode, sir. Love it. Kirk fighting Spock in the transporter room, knowing he could get his brain smashed in. Must be from, I think Minimus is referring to This Side of Paradise. You belong in the circus, Spock. Right next to the dog-faced boy. Oh, yeah, Kirk. Oh, there you go, Fanty. Kirk Smackdown with Finnegan and DeGorn. Great ones. Great stuff. Thank you, Steve. Diesel says, my favorite Kirk moment is when he gives the eulogy at Spock's funeral in Wrath of Khan, where he breaks for a second when he says, of all the souls I've encountered in my travels, this was the most human. Yeah, love it. Human. I tell you what, Darth, you wouldn't have too many people argue with you on that one. I love the Doomsday Machine. Great stuff. Great. Oh, it's beautiful. Love it. Love it. Zafter says, the Gorn is the best episodes. We have an Arena fan here. Well, who isn't? And when I get done tonight, because in honor of Shatner, I'm going to go watch me a Shatner episode, a Trek episode. I don't know which one I'm going to go watch, but I'm going to go watch one. Because I just need to. And that's true, Pleasant. I picked so many great Kirk moments. You can be here all night. Yeah, I mean. Man, so many good ones. So good God. I was naming a couple of them. You're all naming some great ones. Man, oh man. That's like a whole show. I mean, tomorrow night, in fact, I will get with Mark and number one and see if they want to name a few as well. So why not? Why not? Why not? No beach to walk on. Naked Time is a great one. The fight with Gary Mitchell, that's greatness right there. He's just the best, man. He's just the cool. Fonzie's not the coolest character that was ever on television. I hate to tell you this. It's James T. Kirk. Yeah. See, this gets me pumped up to want to watch me some real Kirk. Kirk. Now I know why they call her she. Eric K. I hope you got that power back on there, Eric, buddy. I am Kirok. Yep, Mira, love it. I was talking about that one earlier, PvP. In every revolution, there's one man with a vision. Eid Plebnista, yes, the Omega Glory scene, great stuff. Day of the Dove. Kirk and Kang hitting each other. Oh, man, the confrontation between Kirk and Core, Narrative Mercy. I mean, they're endless. There's so many great ones. God, it's so good, man. We're never going to get that again, folks. We're never going to get anything of that quality again. What? Where? When? Vinny Barbarino, eh? Is that your favorite character? Yes. In Paradise Syndrome. The captain is a dynamic individual. As McCoy said about him in Tholian Web, he was a hero in every sense of the word. Nobody if someone else had played this character, which could have happened, I just can't see us here right now talking about it. Could be wrong. No, yeah, Devil in the Dark. Nice one, Fanty. Yeah. Kirk slapping Trelane. That's a good one. I like that one, PvP. By the way, my entire Grandfather Paradox time travel stick absolutely centers around Clobby's I'm here, so I am not here. Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you, Finity. Any little way I can help, I am absolutely flattered. But I'm not worthy, sir. Thank you. Dr. Janice Lester using the opportunity to feel a problem. Jesus. Am I the only one that likes Turnabout Intruder? I love it. I think it's great. I think Shatner's brilliant in that. Yeah. They named the child Leonard James Akhar. Devil in the Dark, when Kirk intuitively kneels down to the Hortus height to show equal footing and no hostility to indicate, hey, let's talk. Yeah, he's the best. He's the best there is at what he does. And what he does is very nice. So, and you could name the scenes all day. You could name, you could come up with stuff all day for Kirk. Just, like I said, I don't think we'd be here. Anybody else played the character? I don't know how long the show would have lasted. The Great Tribble Drop. That's a good one, yeah. Both sides and the enemy within, yep. Oh, yeah, good point. Yes, sir. The fact that Kirk can ride a horse even when he doesn't have the holodecks like Poopies to keep his skills up, even if the scene was in craptastic generations. Well, yeah. He's still great in it, yeah. Oh, man. Kirk holding back McCoy from saving Edith Keeler. Well, the possibly most tragic, riveting scenes ever. Yeah, PVC. I'm right there with you. Well, Darth, I agree. Like, I love Jeffrey Hunter. You know, he would have made a great Captain Pike if he decided to stay with Star Trek. Remember, but they made him change captains too, though. So he fell from the stairs in his house and refused to roll. But he refused to roll, but also they wanted a different captain, and the network wanted a different captain. So Zathras, listen to you. Hey, Zathras, you know I'm just busting your chops, buddy. I think he's better than I love Sheridan, but I think Kirk's the standard. But you don't have to say that. You're welcome to say anything you want, of course. Hey, Grimdark, good to see you there. And John Rupas, hey there. Well, to not invoke Claremont Burn here, Clobby with best there is. And Turnabout Intruder. Not even Doug McClure. Doug McClure was with him on Barbary Coast. Turnabout Intruder, Shatner plays the first transformed individual when he was using the emery board in front of McCoy. Where did a man get an emery board at that time in night in space? I just don't even know what that is. Remember, if Edith died, Kirk wouldn't disappear. I think that makes the sacrifice more poignant, saving a different timeline. Let me ask you this, Finity. What if he did save Edith, but then bring her back to the 23rd century and still took her out of time. What would happen then? Just curious. He didn't have time, really. Donnie says, I must be honest, the score by Dennis McCarthy was what I loved about Generations. Yes. In First Contact was it? Yeah. First Contact is my number one TNG movie. I'm with you there. And my number 2 overall Star Trek movie. Well, it's great music by both of those chaps. Jerry Goldsmith's score for First Contact is beautiful. Yeah, the problem is no one liked Hunter's wife, who kept getting involved in so many. Yeah, that's a shame. True, though. Yeah, that's what I heard. Anyway. Diesel says another favorite Kirk moment is after they beam onto Genesis, and as they are watching the destroyed Enterprise burn up in the atmosphere, he turns to McCoy and says, "Oh, yeah, that's one of my... Oh, good one. My God, Bones. What have I done?" And McCoy just says to him, what you had to do, what you always do, turn death into a fighting chance to live. Primo track, great stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. I hear you, Diesel. Love him. People don't remember that Bill Shatner is Canadian. When he stars in The Omega Glory, he reads the preamble of the Constitution for the U.S. in a way you'd never known he wasn't an American. That was fantastic. Finity says, taking her out of time would still prevent Edith's drumming circle closing. Yes, it would. It would have worked. Right? You could take her out of time. She'd have been a temporal anomaly, and yeah. That's what he's doing at night in space. Was an Airplane 2, yeah, line with a man going with a bobby pin, yeah. Edith would have dumped Kirk for Chikuf, aka Bester. Zathras, you're incorrigible. But that's why we like you. Oh dear. But yeah, oh man, so many great moments. Just bask in the glory of real Star Trek. It is a beautiful thing. And today, of course, 92 years this man has lived, and I hope he goes another 92. He gave us this character. I said this a few times already tonight. I don't think the show... Break off any piece and it doesn't work, but especially without Shatner. In other words, if someone else had played Spock, if Martin Landau had played him, I don't know, but all those same stories, I guess it still could have been good, but I don't know. If somebody else had played McCoy, we wouldn't know, would we? So it'd be probably okay, but it's still so glad we got. I can't imagine anyone being those characters other than Nimoy and Kelly. You put anybody as Kirk, and it's just a done deal. There's nobody. It can't happen. I mean, all three of them are perfect. But if you have one or a few of them different, Mark D, what I see is here.
Hey, everyone.
What's up, dude?
Working on some projects, but listening, loving this discussion. Yep.
It's game over. That's not much of a discussion.
Different franchise.
Stuff with myself. Good to see you, though. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Kirk moments. This is the big day. 92 years old for the Shat.
Unbelievable.
Just talking a little bit of Kirk here.
No, one of the greatest captain there is. No debate about that. So I love those.
Actually, we did.
Those were the two Kirk episodes I would have named.
We had some conflict over it earlier. Zathras claimed Sheridan was better, and we had to,
No. We love Zathras, but no,
yeah,
Kirk is the best. Or Horatio Hornblower, maybe, but yeah.
Well, I am talking starships, and
right.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was just magic. You were talking about Hungry Boys mentioning, yeah, like you mentioned Landau or I just can't see it working. I mean, maybe someone else could have done it, but it was lightning in a bottle when you get those three together. The Holy Trinity is. Don't get me in trouble, Catholic school people. I'm going to go to confession, but yeah, it's just remarkable how good they work together. I mean, just and they're combined with the writing too. You got to give, it's just when you put Trek on, TOS, it's just a revelation when you watch it. Sitting on the Edge of Forever. I mean, that's probably the one episode of quote unquote normies, or one of the named episodes. If I was going to pick an episode to show to someone that I wouldn't maybe like sci-fi, or I made my wife sit through all the Trek movies with me. I'd say that one.
Did you all of them?
Yeah, well, then we used to go to them too. So yeah, first contact.
Oh, okay, okay, but I think meant like at home or something.
Well, once in a while, but I got to bribe her with something if we're gonna watch. Wrath of Khan, you're shaking the house, turn it down. But starships are supposed to shake the house.
Yes, they are.
That's why I bought the good sound system for Wrath of Khan, so it would rumble. But yeah, it's just you can't duplicate that sometimes. I was lucky enough to go to Rome last year, and you see La Pieta by Michelangelo. Even though it's behind glass, and it's just something so emotional about seeing it in person. It's just an incredible creation. I can't you can't even describe it how amazing it is to see it, and no one with all the artists out there, no one can duplicate that. It's just it's one of a kind. I think that's not compared to, I'm not comparing Star Trek to anything religious, of course, but just it's a one of a kind occurrence where you get something that works so well. And it was just such an affront that they left Shatner off that Paramount Plus promotion. I saw that Raquel canceled her P- subscription today.
Really?
Yep. She posted on Twitter. Yep. Oh, we have a member for 5 months. Your Muslim uncle. Let me show the screen here. And he says, "Hail, Clobby, Mark D, and Clobberers."
Hey, your Muslim uncle. I didn't even see him in the chat. Did he pop in?
So here's he's
him.
in the member chat right here. Yep.
Oh, but hey, buddy, good to see you.
So thank for that. Yep.
Captain Infinity said, my self-imposed ban on writing time travel stories has just ended. Blame Clobby. I'm sorry. I meant nothing. It's not my fault, is it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Infinity, buddy. Wouldn't do anything on purpose.
And hail to Diesel. Yeah, but if you took Edith Keeler out of the time stream, right? Because she's supposed to die. What happens if she changed time in the future, and she's responsible for creating Mikey Spock?
No. I was talking about if he took her with him.
Yeah,
took her with him.
But say somehow she was. I'm just joking. But say she did something in the future, and she's not
Mikey
supposed
Spock.
to be there.
That's real Trek.
I was making a joke.
Yes,
but no. But what if she did something horrible, like a Mikey Spock level occurrence? Then you're messing things up.
Hey, we got a new person popped in. Aggressively relaxing. What says? I searched Comics Live, and I'm here now. We are talking Trek. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it was just tonight's my wild card night where I talk about just about anything, and it was William Shatner's birthday. Actually, I opened up the show tonight talking comics, and we'll go back to it, of course. But it is Shatner's birthday, so we probably should, talk more about Shatner's birthday tomorrow night with Raquel. It's still. I'm glad you popped in. Aggressively relaxing. Earlier, for example, I talked about a bit of a tribute to a golden silver age classic artist who passed away today at the age of 94, the great Joe Giella. So I do a lot of comics here, especially on Monday nights. And but I'm honored to have you stop in. And thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. Yep. We hope you like Star Trek too.
I hope you'll hang out with us. I don't know if you're a Trek fan or not, but we're mostly really just talking. It's not so much Trek as Kirk a little bit because of the Shat, says,
You always took Star Trek comics too, right? Yep.
Oh,
There, okay, read my mind. Yep.
We've talked Star Trek comics before. That's true. Yeah. If they take Edith to their present, they're not changing the future. Exactly. They're in the present. It totally works. No anomalies. A+. Yes. Thank you. And of course, just like they did that in Star Trek 4.
I disagree with both of those because
why? They
she's
did
not
it in Star
supposed
Trek
to be.
4.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have done it, right? I mean, what if she changed the future? What if you don't know that, right? She's not supposed to be there. She's not supposed to time travel, right?
Maybe she is.
Unless you're
supposed to be
talking
there.
predetermined. Yeah, but then you have predetermination.
She's taken out of time. But see, Edith was supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Whereas the lady in Trek 4 wasn't necessarily supposed to be dead. Let's see what aggressively says. No way. Stay on Trek. We can do both. There were Trek comics this week. Okay, just being sure there. But trust me, there was. Kennedy says. He says, trust me. If there was a problem, I tell you, it's temporarily perfect. Well, you are the time police.
Yeah, he's the TVA. Yep.
I wish Shatner would do Lower Drex or Trek Online. He's getting kind of up there. He didn't really do much of anything for that kind of stuff anymore there aggressively. Mark, that's because you don't know how time travel works, darling. Well, see?
Thank you, darling.
I told you. Thank you, darling. You didn't know how time travel works. I know how time travel works in a TARDIS.
That's too timey-wimey for me. Come on.
Yeah, the timey-wiminess is giving me a freaking headache. I exist, but I don't exist, but he exists. No, but I would think that, all right, Edith was supposed to be
passed away.
Supposed to die. So that's fine. How can you hurt anything by bringing her to the 23rd century?
Because what if she does something in the 23rd century that's monumental? Or what if she has descendant, like they talked about in was it yesterday's? What's when they travel to the past with a fighter pilot and they find out his descendant's gonna go on the moon and become an astronaut? I'm forgetting my Star Trek titles.
What?
The jet pilot that they snatch.
Tomorrow's yesterday.
Tomorrow's yesterday. Hey, thank you. Yeah, what a crummy memory I have sometimes.
Healy Chow.
And then they realize they have to put him back, right? Because he's going to have a descendant. And he's, I'm going to have a kid, But what happens if either Keeler has descendants that she wouldn't have had and then messes up that future?
It's
that's
fine because
okay.
the future's not written. She's not, she's coming completely out of the past. Now, Jillian Taylor was taken out of her time.
Yeah.
I don't think they care about the future. They said we can write anything we want. If you take someone out of the past, it doesn't mess with. All right, no more time travel. I'm about to ban
it. That's okay. Sorry. Well, Captain Finney says it's flawless. So I'm gonna try it someday. So I'll let you know.
You time travel people need to cut it out.
I just know there wouldn't be that many copies of Detective 27 or Superman, action number 1 left if there was time travel, right? They'd all disappear. Or maybe that's why there's so few copies. Maybe that's why. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because they deteriorate, but yeah, there you go. Donnie Pearson says, okay, I uploaded my YouTube video. Oh, you have his new video. Everyone, please check out Donnie's YouTube page. Well, if we can get a link to that, Donnie. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always trailer. It's on YouTube. And he says
that's the new movie that's coming, right, Donnie?
Oh my gosh, you don't have to be a Power Rangers fan to check it out anytime, anywhere. There you go. Well, Donnie, I'm glad I know you're excited about that. I know you're a big Power Rangers man, and I wish you the best on that one, sir.
Yep. Good luck. Yep.
Aggressively Relaxing says, I love New Trek. The Raffi character in Picard is like I wrote a self-insert character, and I'm awesome. I'm an awesome officer, but I like to party. I'm best friends with Picard, dating 7 of 9, an adventure with Worf. Well, there you go. I say whatever makes you happy.
Is there a new episode tonight of that show?
No,
tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning.
2
or 3 a.m.
Depending on where you are. 3 a.m. for Eastern. And
yeah. Well, but it's not worth waiting up for that one.
That never is. But yeah.
But did you watch the new Mando episode?
I did. Mandalorian? Yeah.
That was better.
I thought it was called
harmless.
It was called The Foundling.
Yeah, but I know, but yeah, I'm joking. I said let the
we don't want to spoiler anybody, but we did see the Mandalorian episode. Yes, somebody's watching it, I guess. So if you don't want
Yeah.
any spoilers, it was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I won't spoil anything, but it was Carl Weathers directed it.
Oh,
And I did not like the first 3 episodes. This one was a little bit more enjoyable. Not much happening.
yeah, I like this one. Yeah, it's
There were some things that really aggravated with me, but it was kind of, I was kind of, Jar Jar Jedi was kind of fun to see Ahmad Best get a chance to, kind of, I don't know, he got treated like crap.
yeah, that wasn't his fault. Yeah.
I hate Jar Jar Binks, but it wasn't that actor's fault.
Well, we should clarify how if someone had, we're giving minor spoilers here, but Ahmad Best, who stood in for Jar Jar Binks, I guess, did he do the voice too? But he was on set.
Well,
They have to do motion cap.
He was doing all the body stuff.
Yeah,
He was
so
cast as Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his voice or not, but yeah, he was. Yeah, he's in the cast, and he plays a Jedi after Order 66, saving Grogu. So you get a cool flashback scene. I mean, I think that, this is like Star Wars light. These Mando episodes and
at the Jedi Temple.
At the Jedi Temple, yeah, yep. But you do get some good scenes and some fun stuff, but it's not. It's not anything like, oh my, I can't believe how cool this is, because of where this series is ending up, unless they someday retcon that or change that. But yeah, it was an enjoyable episode. The only thing is that a kid gets snatched away by a dragon. We'll just call it a dragon.
They're going to camp out and wait for it.
And wait. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What
in the hell?
What are you doing?
That's my kid. I'm going up there.
Yeah, I'm not waiting. I mean, he's food for these little dragon creatures, basically, right? And you're just gonna.
That was mind-boggling.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, totally nuts.
It was like, what do you do? Hey, we know that's your kid and all. But we're kind of tired, a little hungry. It's kind of dark up there, man. So we'll just, we'll get up in the morning, nice fresh stretch. It'll
be fun.
I was like, what are you doing? Are you out of your? I mean, Mandalorians are stupid. And
yeah, that made no sense. Yeah,
I don't like Grogu becoming a Mandalorian. I kind of wish they just kind of, I don't know, got rid of him. Well, I agree with that, Zappers. It should have been Mace Windu, but it was kind of cool to see little Jar Jar Best get his chance. Because I hate the character of Jar Jar Abrams. I hate Jar Jar Abrams. I mean, the Jar Jar Binks so much that it wasn't, but you felt bad about it. It wasn't that guy's fault, really.
Yeah, we never blame the actors here. It's that's something. It's if an actor attacks the fans, I'll call the actor out for that. But if you say I don't like an actor's performance, that's one thing.
Yeah, but I never blame the actor.
To personally attack someone and say that and say you're
were pretty
because of the character. I mean, he's just doing what Lucas wanted him to do, and the idea was to have a comedic role. I gotta say, my kids, at ages 5, did love 3 to 5 did love Jar Jar Binks.
That's who he's aimed at.
Yeah,
that's who he was for.
Comedic relief. Yeah,
we had to put up with it.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. I blame Jennifer Lawrence. She was the first Gungan and told George about Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, that's a good point, Darth. It is pretty much the Boca Raton show. I know she Catan, but it's irresistible to say Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's at least Mando got a couple of moments this episode, but yeah, she's really
yeah. But who saved the day? Who made the orders? Who saved the day? Of course, it was also her dumb idea to sit down and wait and camp out. Yeah, and, I like it was so weird that scene where she says, "So how do we eat with
yeah.
Well, you have to go find a place by yourself and to eat. Take your helmet off and eat with no one around. Okay. Yeah. Hey, pop culture, take it easy, man.
I'm guessing if you're married, you can see each other's faces.
Good, dude. I don't. They may not get married. It may not be the way.
No, but I'm saying if you are married, I don't
know if Mandalorians are allowed to be married, but they do have kids.
Well, they have kids, so
foundlings.
I
Maybe that
mean,
means, maybe that
do you
means
have
they
to wear a
found them.
helmet all the time?
Maybe foundlings are found. I don't know. It's just a dumb idea.
That kind of stuff is ridiculous. Yeah, to have to
Yeah,
wear a
kind of
helmet the
silly
whole
shit. So,
time. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't know.
but it's the way that
Yeah,
this is the
well, it
way.
was. I mean, Carl Weathers directed. It was short as shite too. It was dopey, mildly had some okay action in it. At least it wasn't as bad as the first three, but whatever.
It's like an enjoyable comic book, like a fluff comic book that doesn't have a lot of substance, but has some good, fun stuff in it, like fun fight that you love to see. It doesn't really change anything or reveal great character arcs. So just the ridiculous thing with Grogu, I was just thinking tonight, what they should do is say, they said he takes 50 years to become, reach maturity or
Yeah,
something.
it's weird.
But what they should do is just have like a growth spurt. Say, oh, as soon as you're 10 years old, you have a growth spurt or something, because it's just way too cute and cuddly for too long. That this
because that was almost 30
creature.
years
How old
ago.
is he now? Yeah,
that was almost 30 years ago. Because you got this takes place 6-7 years after Jedi,
right? At least,
maybe.
Yeah,
Probably something like that. I don't know. What's it, 6 or 7 years after Rehash of the Jedi?
Yeah. So
Something
how old
like
is
that.
Grogu?
Oh, we don't know, but like they said,
Or how old did they say you get to be maturity for these creatures?
50 years or something.
Right? Wasn't 50 like?
Which is weird, but I know, Yoda was pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yoda was like 900 years old or something.
Yeah, so they're saying that Star Wars timelines, the event of the Mandalorian take place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi, which is set in 4 after the Battle of Yavin, ABY. So this would mean that Mandalorian is set in 9 ABY, Yavin. If Grogu is 50 years old, then he would be born in 41 BBY. So
okay.
So that's just it's just like just level some having hit a growth spurt or something.
Yeah, him. I don't know why he wants to. He wants to make him a Mandalorian, and he's still. If he's not that mature, then he's still a damn child. So
yeah, and you can't he's got such limited physicality too.
That could be Jeff. Jeff said I thought they said Grogu is 50 and still a kid. That could be what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
anyway,
I'm sick of the cutesy. I'm sick of the cutesiness of the character at this point. Maybe I'm grumpy, but
no, he's there to be cutesy. I mean, he should have stayed with Luke. That's the thing, and then he could have gone somewhere else with the show and make him still a bounty hunter or whatever the hell.
And once in a while they could intersect or have a mission together, but yeah. It just I think they had to keep him because of the merchandising, right?
Oh hell yeah! What are we gonna do? Kick him out of a show? I mean, he's ADVB. Hello there.
ADVB.
Yeah. What? No, they weren't gonna do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have toys ready. When they first came out, I guess it was a secret.
Yeah. Which was weird if you think about it. You think they would market everything else. Why wouldn't they have? There's Disney. What else are they going to do with a character like that?
Yeah.
Well,
the other question I had for everyone, too, was how many, members of Yoda species are there? Are they incredibly rare? Are there more of them? Or why were they protecting just him? Or was he just happened to be the last, Jedi Knight in training or among the kids that had survived somehow? I mean, was there something special about him?
Well, maybe they will answer that. Maybe they're going to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because he was there. And he had that little thing he was riding around even then. So where's he been all this time?
The flying baby carriage, yep.
Huh?
So The flying baby carriage,
baby
right? I
carriage
call
thing,
it.
or whatever they call it, tram or whatever. So
Yeah.
who knows? All right, well, I mean, whatever. It was.
Yeah.
I think it was at least not as crappy, terrible as last week. It didn't feel like it took. In fact, it felt short rather than 4 hours long like last week did. So, yeah, well, who cares? I don't really care that much. I mean, I'll never watch it again. But I was kind of happy for Ahmad Best. Strangely enough,
Yeah.
I was a little happy for him. Let him get a chance to go be a Jedi. Why not?
He was good in it too.
It was
He
cool
was
how
good.
he had two two lightsabers. That was kind of cool. He was running around with. I mean, maybe he took one off of somebody or something. It was falling maybe, and he was kicking some ass. And
because one falls and he grabs a lightsaber.
And then he got a Naboo ship, Naboo starfighters or whatever, or not starfighter, little shuttle or short range ship, but not short range. The Naboo ship that was similar to the one from Attack of the Clones. So
yeah, they always have the silver. So
we don't know where
Yoda
ship was all that time. I mean, Yoda, listen to me. We don't know where Grogu was all this time. I guess they're probably going to deal with that.
Yep, we'll find out. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, he took Brian says he took one from the elevator when he picked up Grogu. Yeah, you could see that when the Jedi that was falling. I think the Jedis are falling too easily too. I guess I don't know if they were all Jedi Knights or in training in that scene too. The troopers were killing off quite a few of them, but
DJ Ronnie G. Yeah, I guess
DJ.
so. Yeah. Huh. Well, could be. So yeah, that was interesting to see that. That was the best part. I mean, the fight with it was just so. They took me out. I was already kind of like, oh boy, this is kind of so. And then they kind of took me out of the episode completely when they stopped the camp, waiting to go up there to fight the. Yeah. And then the battle with the dragon thing, he was like, well, sure, fine. Of course, what's her face has to be the big hero. Because why not? Because 2023. I don't know. Pretty weak stuff to me.
Well, I love Katie Sackhoff. I think she's great. But yeah, the
You'll never see her again.
Mandalorian should.
If she didn't have to eat lunch, you wouldn't see her at all.
They're gonna have her eating every episode now.
I don't know. I bet you when she's gonna be able to cap out and just do voices for a while.
Well, yeah, it's got to be easier, though, right? Yeah, they just get a body double. Although she's got a figure that you can kind of recognize. So you just find a body double. Yeah.
DVB says, I can answer this one pretty easily. Why is the best part of Mandalorian season 3 is a callback to Order 66 in the latest episode? Because they have nothing else to offer. Nothing else was particularly interesting at all. It's all just the same old stuff. I mean, it's all pretty lame and same old. And so far, and now this is what episode was that? 4? Like halfway through the season. Because I think they're only 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me check.
Maybe more. I don't know.
And not much has happened. I mean, they're just showing you how that Mandalorian sect lives. And you'd think if the kids are getting snatched away by dragons, they would have, hey, don't walk
go
off
somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're getting better firepower. Says,
they don't have a ship. They don't have any kind of ship.
I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
It's only Bo-Katan that has a spaceship. I mean,
I guess. Infinity says, Clobberin, should anything happen to me, the only person that 100% gets it is DVB. He is officially the next Pope of time travel. Okay, it's a fair cop, but I don't want. But I don't want anything to happen.
See any white smoke soon. Yeah, no white smoke soon.
Yes, I don't want to lose you though, Infinity. So hang in there. But apparently DVB has got your back, and so do I.
Only 8 episodes. You're right.
Oh man, 8. So stop
Bryce
screwing around.
Dallas Howard is doing episode 6.
The directing one.
Directing, yep.
Okay. Well,
Peter Ramsey and Rick Famagia. Oh, the directors, yep. I'm probably not saying his name correctly, I'm sure, but
agree, DVB. You personally wish it would have ended season Mandalorian at the end of season 2. It was a perfect ending. Yeah, to go do something else. I mean, Yeah, they should have done something else, but they don't know what they're doing. But I don't. But I wouldn't. They could do a good season with it. It's just they don't know what the hell. They don't. It's like they're so directionless. Like, they don't even know what they're doing.
Well, they should have had the bounty hunter angle. I mean, it's an easy one. I'm not a Hollywood writer, obviously, but you just make him become a bounty hunter again. But then by having that group of Mandalorians, getting their butts kicked and then having to leave the planet, so he's no longer a bounty hunter. But and the
Right.
IG-88 thing has been dropped now, so that would have been cool. You'd
Yeah,
like
what's
to
the
see him
deal
as a
with that?
bounty hunter.
Yeah.
You can just do an anthology. I don't want big long stories anymore. Just do short stories and do interesting adventures, or maybe you could do 2-parters, but just have interesting 1-part episodes where he's saving the day or doing something interesting or just being a badass. That's what we want to see. That's why everyone loved Boba Fett, because you loved him in the Star Wars Holiday Special, even though the rest of that was garbaggio. But the costume as a kid, you're like, my God, that's the coolest costume. It's like, Mom, I want that action figure, because it looks so neat. And that's what that whole mythology built up about him. He's real, he's only an Empire just a little bit, right? Not a ton. And you see him die in Jedi, quote unquote die, but people still love the character for years and years. That's why they brought him back. So you want to see a character like that, like a Clint Eastwood type, or a Dirty Harry, or the Preacher, if to name a few Clint characters, a character like that is working outside the system, is maybe not always following the rules, but you really admire, and he kicks ass. Ain't nothing like a good piece of hickory, but we're not getting that right now. We're having our hero keeps getting saved by other people.
We got to wait for daylight to save people, though.
Yeah,
Can't
you
do
don't
it in
want to
the
go.
dark.
You don't want to go in the dark with your infrared vision that you have in your helmets, because
We'll make noise. Well, yeah, you will. And I don't know. I'm sorry. They could use that. It takes, for the time it takes to climb up that mountain. You take your freaking you go with your jetpacks. Yeah, they make noise, but you go up there. What does it take? Like 2 seconds to get to the top?
Yeah.
It made no sense. Just you still get up there fast. Now that you sneak, I have no problem with them sneaking up on them. Then, by the way, you should do it at night, because it's better, more cover of nighttime. You go up there, you fly up real quick, shoot up some flares. Have one of them, have her fly her ship over. When they attack from the bottom, she should have flown her ship over the top of it. And
you got a spaceship. And
you got a damn ship.
The air.
Blast that sucker.
Or you scan the area, right? If you go up, creature can't fly into where there's no air. It can only fly so high. You just go above it and you scan down, or you go at a distance and you scan from a distance to see where there's nothing there. Quick, we can land on. They just wanted to have that really cool scene of them climbing, which was, the climbing is kind of cool, but they don't need to. That was it. But that was the only reason they had to do it, was to not surprise the creature. And they had that line in, our jetpacks will notify. And then the creature turned out not to be there. So you're telling me they've got these fancy infrared scanners and they can't scan the mountaintop to see if anything is there?
Exactly. Vertical Horizons. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Thanks for being here. It says baby gimmick Yoda is for normies, children, and women to mindlessly gawk. Yep, yeah, that's for sure. Look at Oliver Belamonte. Hey, Oliver, good to see you. It says, I hate DC Comics plans for super. You can stop. I would stop me at saying I hate DC Comics. But anyway, plans for Superman and Wonder Woman in 2023. Oh boy, do I want to know? Ultraman will kill every Superman in every multi-Earth, while the U.S. government will ban all Amazons by imposing a registration. Are you kidding me?
Isn't she from another country? Why would
stupid?
Would you have to register? Yeah.
Oliver, that sounds absolutely idiotic. But again, it's from DC Comics, so.
Well, they kill off Superman, they'll get more, sell more comics again, right?
Yeah, I guess they'll sell more Superman comics, even though he's dead and stuff. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a genius. Oh, he lurked but hardly chat. Well, I'm glad you said hello, Vertical, and I thank you for lurking. I thank all of our lurkers out there. Really appreciate you all. And of course, people who watch on a download or re-watch later, I always appreciate you as well. So, that sounds so terrible, Oliver. It's like, what? Who comes up with this crap? It's like, so, why are you guys? We need to stir it up. What do you want to do now? How about we'll get Ultraman? He's the evil Superman from Earth, the crime syndicate at Earth 3, and we'll have him kill every Superman in all the multi-Earths for some reason. Oh, and remember Civil War? We'll do something different. We'll have the U.S. government will ban all Amazons by imposing a registration act. What does the U.S. government have to do with Themyscira?
Yeah, right. I mean, isn't she grandfathered in, or not grandfathered? Is it diplomatic immunity?
Yeah, they don't. I don't. America can't. Jesus. Jesus Christ! What DC? I mean, why should we even be surprised? I marvel at DC's idiocy, and DC at Marvel's idiocy for that matter. So I don't. I can't even understand who. What? God, just make they make garbage comics, so why not make them even more complicated? Why not do it? Knock yourself out, DC. I'm sure that's going to really sell some funny books for you. Not
you don't have to kill characters to make interesting stories either. That's the thing that always.
They always think that.
Let's kill off Johnny Storm again, and we'll call the Fantastic Four 3, and we'll sell books, and we'll put the issues in white covers and bags that you can't open, and you can buy multiple copies of them, and it's not going to really afford the story.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, creatively bankrupt just doesn't even cover it now. Jesus Christ. That's bad stuff there, Ollie. Thanks for sharing.
Captain Infinity.
And shipping Kirk and Edith. And kids name them Temporal and Verisimilitude. Good names. I like it.
Well, they do have the Captain Infinity time travel seal of approval. I think we should make a logo for that. Well, yeah, we should do that to get Captain Infinity's logo and say it's call that the time travel seal of approval.
I think so.
We're gonna Photoshop.
I'm on it. All over it. Oh my goodness, man! What?
Well, I'm sure he didn't approve of STD, even though we don't consider that real Trek.
Well, it's not Star Trek.
The time travel in that, right? Yeah. Well, they did send them to the future. Yeah.
Time travel is good for you if you have a TARDIS, and it's a fixed point in time, huh? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We've kept you here long enough tonight, haven't we? It's almost at the 2-hour mark. Let's answer this a little bit more here. DVD says, so Grugo is 50 years old, so I guess that would be equivalent to a human 5-year-old, because if Yoda was 900 years old, maybe he was equivalent to a 90-year-old human. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's just too long to mature, though.
It's just, yes. I mean, sure.
How'd you survive as a species?
I don't know.
50 years of daycare? I mean,
yeah, it's just
changing diapers. I mean, well, I guess 50 years to adult, but I mean, that means, how many years is an infant that's totally useless? I mean, that's just, I don't think they thought it through. Yeah. And 5-year-olds can talk, unlike grown-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. He's supposed to talk. I hear he's going to talk this season.
I hope so. Finally,
I think that's going to be weird. But I hear he's going to talk this season. So
just wait till he hits his crazy 200s.
Yeah,
the terrible
200s. The terrible 200s.
Yeah.
200. That's his teen years when he's like 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight, especially since I didn't bring anything. I just talked.
It was good talking, though.
Yeah, especially since I just talked and stuff. Well, thanks. Again, before we get out of here, I will say once again, as I started the show with this, rest in peace, the great Joe Giella. He his contribution to comics, of course, may be underappreciated by a lot of people, but not here. Rest his soul. Where am I looking at? Oh, trying to find some of his art here. Where are you? Where you at, Joe? I want some Joe's art. There he is. The oldest Batman artist, Golden Age, Silver Age artist. Excellent. One of the top inkers. Thank you, Matthew Pounder. Appreciate that.
He was 92, you said, right?
94, I think.
94. Right?
94, yeah. Just passed. Well, you saw,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw earlier what Paul Kupperberg was talking about.
Yeah. Some things now that I've learned more about comics, I wish I could go back in time, Captain Finity, and talk to him at the weekly comic book shop that closed. I used to see him like 2 or 3 times a week, Sometimes we would devolve into politics, unfortunately. All friendly, but not talk as much comics. But be amazing to talk to him about some of these old. We did talk, comics obviously, but some of these old time creators that he knew, and also that when the DC implosion happened, he was in charge of making that book. I would love to ask him about that. About. He's still got
Cavalcade.
that. Comics Cavalcade,
to talk about, that with
yeah.
Joe was a top-notch artist, though.
That's great. Yeah, that's great art. Yeah,
great.
God rest his soul. Yeah,
inker.
Was he in the top 100 list on that?
No,
Hungry Boy's favorite.
He was
favorite
mostly
list?
known as an inker, even though he did do a lot
Inker,
of art. He did a lot
okay.
of. He did a lot of ghost art for Bob Kane's silly ass. I mean, a lot of the stuff.
Right.
A lot of stuff went. Hey, Larry, good to see you, buddy. A lot of the stuff that Bob Kane slapped his name on in the 50s when he was starting, was very. Sometimes it was almost nothing. Sometimes it was layouts here and there, but usually nothing. And it was ghosted by Joe Giella. He was not the only one, but he was one. And of course, then he did a lot of inking in the 60s and into the 70s.
Yep. Well, you need inkers for your comics, right? I mean, that's just
back then. You sure so did especially well, and he's inked some amazing classics, So, and he also did a lot of paintings and stuff. It's been rumored or talked about that some after the Batman TV show was having some big time popularity in the 60s, that Bob Kane had did these commissioned lithographs, right?
Mm-hmm.
By Bob Kane, the creator of Batman. One problem, he didn't do them. Joe Giella did them.
Wow.
I don't know what the pictures are, but
it came out. How did that get revealed? Just people recognize his art, probably.
Only people behind the scenes knew because he needed the money. But these people didn't. They sold these for pretty good money too. Yeah, because it was just big back then. So I said, "Hey, Herc, 1:30. Good to see you, buddy." Mark, a mediocre inker kills a good comic, and a bad inker creates something you need to go into the confessional for. Yep, he was a great one. So, yeah.
Thank you, Hungry Boy. Yep.
Yes, sir. So, anyway, rest in peace, Joe Giella from the Clobberin Times crew. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. There's some show notes. Ezra Goldstein, good to see you, my friend. Shalom. First of show notes. Tomorrow night, of course, obviously, the gang is all here with the Clobbies Clubhouse, our wonderful first officer, Raquel, and Mark D. And I will bring you we'll have a review of a UFO episode. Maybe we'll talk a little Shatner, some Tales of Tomorrow, and who knows what else we'll talk about.
Oh, we got to watch Tales of Tomorrow.
We need to
put that on your list.
Watch
yeah.
It. Raquel, one of these days, I need to finally watch it.
Raquel should shin kick us for not ever watching it.
Yes.
We should watch one tonight.
You never know. I still got to watch the newest UFO episode and some other Garbaggio. So, and then I'll be on Midnight's Edge after dark before that. But then, of course, again, 9 p.m. Central tomorrow night in this same time slot, Clobby's Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark. Please join us. You'll have a lot of fun. We always just do it. It's always such a great time. Let's see. And then Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I and a couple other friends will be on with our great Paulie at Latino Slant. Going to be a special. He's just a charity show they're doing, but he wants to host a show talking about DC comics. I don't know what he's got planned, but he wants some people who could talk comics with him, and he's not a comics channel.
That's you for sure.
I don't know why he called me, but I think it was. I don't know if it's movies or what he wants to know about comics. It's any comics, so I don't know. We'll see. So it'll be on there. That'll be fun. And of course, then Saturday night Star Trek, same Trek time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The last 2 episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 5 reviewed in our ongoing quest to review all of real Star Trek 66 through 05, 735 Club, except new substitutes. We will have our Season 5 wrap party, talk about our best episodes and our worst episodes, and after review of those 2. So looking forward to that. And then Monday, actually Sunday, and I'll get Mike to talk about this in a second, but Sunday Night Geekery, I'll be over there hanging out with him, but I'll let you talk about that in a minute. Monday night, Loki, and maybe even 24/7, I don't know, will join me for another Clobberin Times DC animation review. It'll be the DC animated film Justice League Crisis on 2 Earths. And then a week from then, I will count down my top 25 favorite episodes of the Justice League / Justice League International. International, listen to me. Unlimited International. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's 2 weeks from that's a week from Monday night. And so, Mark, any closing remarks?
Oh,
Mark D.
Got a couple. So I'm well, of course the chat was awesome tonight. I've been schooled on time travel. Hopefully I get that seal of approval. But no, chat is awesome tonight.
Chris Longfellow's here. Chris Longfellow. Hey,
Chris.
Go ahead.
But you say you don't say anything, but you're always very interesting to listen to. So don't sell yourself short. And I'm one short of 600 subs, so I'm sitting at 599. So if there's anyone out there who hasn't subbed, it'd be kind of cool to get to 600 tonight, or maybe tomorrow at the clubhouse. But if they put my or someone's got my link, I'm sure they can throw in. But if there's anyone lurking out there, or someone hasn't
please
hasn't subbed, and my latest video, I'm just gonna share my Tom and Jerry. This is fun. No audio, of course, so it's safe. But so so I always try to post, a toy or action figure a day, and I just did a 1-minute review, so I'm going to try to do some of those too on YouTube Shorts. So and also the long form reviews. But I'm going to try to do a watch party, of course, for UFO tomorrow night on the UFO episode. So look for Twitter announcement on that. Usually I try to do around 8 or 8:30 before we watch the episode. And looking forward to the clubhouse, and of course Sunday Night Geekery. So but if anyone hasn't subbed, that'd be fun. If it's always nice to hit those milestones. Why not, right? So and happy birthday to the greatest captain there is, William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Thank you for having me on tonight. Much appreciated.
Happy birthday, William Shatner, and my only son on the same day.
That's
of
right.
Course.
Yeah.
So
did you plan that?
Yes.
There was no time travel involved with that, right?
No time travel.
No shenanigans.
I don't know. Maybe there was. Maybe there wasn't. Who knows? I do know that I planned. I sort of planned it. Yeah. And he as well. I was shooting for either the 19th or the 22nd, because the 19th would have been okay, because that'd have been the great Patrick McGowan. But ended up with Shatner, and that's, as much as I love Pat, that's as good as it gets right there.
Could say, telling your wife at the time, yeah, don't you feel like going into labor today, honey?
No, you need to wait till the 22nd.
You get a shin kick, yeah. Well, my family, the funny thing is, I was born on the 17th, and my sister and dad were born on the 19th, and my other sister was supposed to be born. Due date was also the 17th or around that time, and then my mom was in a fender bender and had to, minor car accident, and had to, they had to give birth early. But and my mother-in-law is also born on the 19th, so we're joking in the family. Everyone born right around the same time. So my mom's the oddball. She's born in July 6th. So yep.
We got a lot of March was a ton of birthdays for my family, but I'm not even close to March. Anyway, I'll shout out at Wrenches, folks. Of course, the great bronze wrencher, Eric K. Hope everything's going well, buddy. Appreciate you, and I hope the puppy's doing well. Kirby, the great Chris Podsha, Vindicator Wrench of the North. Thank you, buddy, for all you do. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Lord and Lady Thoth, God of Wrenches. God and Goddess Wrenches. Avon lives long live. The Legion and your puppy. The master of Earthby, or like my sidekick on Earthby, I should say. The great J-Man, Wrench Without Fear. Hungry Boy, Master of the Clobberin, Artist Supreme, and cover artist for the great science fiction tales by R.M. Briggs. Kal-El, Buddy, the Super Wrench, wielder of French Mjolnir, Maddie's daddy, and Fanty Outsider, the wielder of the Fanty Outsider Wrenchy. And shout to the pupper dog out there because Apollomy is here. And thank you all so much. We'll get everybody shouted out properly tomorrow night, of course. Sean Carter popped in. Look. Hey, Sean Carter popping in at the last moment there. Good to see you. So I want to thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. It always means a lot to me that you hang out on these Wednesday nights and then on Thursday nights. Tomorrow night, like I said, we'll have Raquel here and Mark here, and we'll definitely talk more about Shatner, because I'm sure Raquel has some things to say. We hope so. Until then, everyone, thank you so much. Have a fantastic remainder of your week.
It's Clobberin time! Clobberanimo!
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Get those nerds! 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 What? It's Clobberin time! I just love Clobberin time!